Most people will never build real wealth from investing, not because the market is unfair, not because they started too late, not because they did not have enough capital, because they never had a framework. Welcome to the ProfitByFriday.com podcast, where we replace guessing with process, emotion with discipline, and noise with one clear idea every single week. Now, let us get into it. Marcus made his first trade on a Tuesday afternoon in Chicago. He had done the research, he had read the articles, he had watched 3 hours of YouTube the night before. He was ready. By Friday, he was down 22%. Not because the company was bad, not because the market was unfair, because Marcus had walked into the market the same way most people do, with confidence borrowed from information he did not fully understand yet. That Tuesday afternoon cost him 4 months of savings, but it also gave him something the YouTube videos never could. 5 lessons that no one teaches you before you lose money. This episode is those 5 lessons. Lesson 1. Do not chase overnight wealth. When Marcus first started investing, he looked around and saw people doubling their money, tripling it. He assumed he could do the same thing. He just needed to find the right stock at the right time. What he did not understand is that the market is specifically designed to punish that thinking. The people who build real wealth in the market over 10, 20, 30 years do not move fast. They move slowly, deliberately, and they survive long enough to keep compounding. Speed is not the edge, survival is. The trader who makes 80% one year and loses 60% the next is behind the investor who makes 12% every year without drama. The math is not close. The 12% investor wins every decade, every time. Lesson 2. Missing a trade is better than making a wrong one. This one took Marcus longer to accept. Every time a stock ran without him, it felt like a failure. Rising prices triggered something in his brain that felt like urgency. Like if he did not move now, the opportunity would be gone forever, and he would have missed the moment that changed everything. So he moved, often at exactly the wrong time. Here is what he eventually learned. Missing one opportunity costs you nothing. Making one bad trade can cost you 3 to 6 months of recovery. The asymmetry is brutal. And most losses in the market do not come from missed opportunities. They come from trading too much, too fast, driven by a feeling rather than a framework. The market will always have another opportunity. Capital does not recover automatically. Lesson 3. Knowing when to take profits is more important than knowing when to buy. This lesson is the one most investors never fully solve. Marcus had a position up 30%. He held. He wanted 50%. The position came back to 8%. He held again. He told himself he was a long-term investor now. The position turned negative. He sold at a loss and spent the next 2 months trying to understand what happened. What happened was simple. Unrealized gains are not real. They are a number on a screen. The moment you decide to hold for more, you are making a new trade. You are not holding your original position. You are making a decision about what happens next. And what happens next is always uncertain. Realized profits are real. They are in your account. They compound. A 20% gain taken is a 20% gain. A 30% gain held for a 50% gain that never comes is a lesson in how the market teaches patience the expensive way. The framework is simple. Know your exit before you enter. Write it down. And when the price reaches it, execute without negotiation. Lesson 4. Every dollar in the market is a real dollar. This sounds obvious. It is not practiced. Marcus started treating his brokerage account like a separate reality. Money in the market felt different to money in his bank account. Losses felt abstract, until they were not. The question that changed his behavior was this. If the market dropped 20% tomorrow, could I accept that loss and sleep that night? If the answer is no, the position is too large. Not because the market will drop 20% tomorrow, but because position sizing is the single most controllable variable in your investing life. You cannot control what the market does. You can control how much of your capital is exposed to any single outcome. Sizing down is not weakness. It is the discipline that keeps you in the game long enough to build something real. Lesson 5. Opportunities never stop arriving. The most damaging thought in a new investor's mind is this: I missed the one that mattered. Marcus watched a stock run 140% without him. He had looked at it. He had done the research. He had decided to wait. And then he spent 6 months believing that the one that got away was the trade that would have changed everything. Meanwhile, the market opened every single day. New setups appeared every week. New companies hitting inflection points. New sectors repricing. New opportunities forming in plain sight for anyone with a framework and the patience to wait. What is genuinely scarce in investing is not opportunity. It is capital and patience. Protect your capital and it compounds. Exhaust your patience and you overtrade. The investor who understands this stops mourning missed trades and starts building a system that catches the ones that fit. Here is the final thought. The stock market does not care how smart you are. It does not reward technical skill or the most sophisticated analysis or the best information. The research shows this. Most active investors underperform a simple index fund over 20 years. What separates the ones who survive and compound from the ones who exit the market bitter and poorer is not intelligence. It is emotional discipline. The ability to sit with uncertainty without acting. The ability to let a position work without interference. The ability to follow a framework when every feeling says to break it. The market is a mirror. In a rally, it shows you your greed. In a correction, it shows you your fear. In both moments, it is offering you the same test. Can you stay rational when money is on the line? Most people cannot. That is why most people underperform. The investor who builds real wealth is not the smartest person in the room. They are the most patient, the most consistent, the one who treats every week like the first week and deploys capital without emotion. Do not rush to make money. First, learn how to survive. The longer you stay in the game, the closer you get to the outcomes worth building for. Amateurs trade on feelings. Investors build on frameworks. Visit ProfitByFriday.com today. Subscribe free to the Friday Flash, where you will receive one stock fully evaluated through the Clear framework every Friday, so that you know everything about the company before you decide to invest. No noise, no hype, just the analysis that matters. We trade for cash flow. We invest boring to build legacy. See you in the next episode. Bye for now.